Привет, меня зовут Jean очень приятно. That was my attempt at Russian, guys, saying, hi, my name is Jean, nice to meet you. Let's get on with it. This week, the media have covered a story regarding the sun and the lack of sunspots again. The sun has gone completely blank for the second time this month, suggesting that Earth could be heading in for a mini ice age. Just think about that. These mainstream media types, I mean, this is coming from the Mirror, usually run with the story about CO2 causing global warming, and here we are, them, also talking, in my view, double standards, because, I mean, if it's CO2 that's causing global warming, then how come now, they're also talking about the lack of sunspots causing lower temperatures on the Earth. I've been talking about this on this channel now quite some time, many years. I said, that the sun was in an all-time low. I'll probably dig up some of them charts where we can see just how many sunspots is depleted over the last 3 solar cycles. You'll see that, they're halving every time we go into another solar cycle, suggesting that the sun is in an all-time low and has not yet shown signs of coming out that all-time low. If we go back to the 80s, most of us will remember, without looking at any data in any case, it was warmer. So, sunspots do regulate the temperature on Earth. If we get less sunspots, we certainly get less favourable weather in terms of more heat. But that's not the only thing. Solar flares actually inflate the heliosphere, which is like an invisible cloud that protects our solar system. It extends further than the solar system, and a healthy production of sunspots helps keep the heliosphere inflated. So when we get a lack of sunspots, the heliosphere shrinks, and this in turn allows more cosmic radiation in. Now, putting that in terms with regards to a planet that is going through a magnetic reversal such as ours over the last 100 years, we would naturally expect, and as we are seeing, around a 20% reduction in the Earth's magnetosphere, which is the Earth's invisible bubble that protects us from cosmic rays. So we're getting a double hit of cosmic rays at the moment. One, because the sunspots are lacking in numbers, and 2, because the Earth is going through a magnetic reversal. This, added together, causes, serious implications for a lot of things, including weather and climate. Because, as I've stated before, if we start having more cosmic rays coming to the atmosphere of the Earth, then they will form or create perfect situations for condensation of water droplets, and that in turn produces more lower lying clouds over the surface of the Earth. And we can keep going. As a knock-on effect, this creates more flooding and more flash flooding in localized areas, and that's what we're seeing exactly. So not only have we got the problem of low temperatures, we've also got the added problem of more cosmic radiation leading to more lower lying clouds, more floods, and there are lots of problems there. I mean, I don't want to make a doom and gloom video, but just bear that in mind. An increasing population of humans on this planet at the moment, around about 7 billion, and we're faced with all these problems that threaten our way of life on this planet. Especially in the terms of food production. And, if the climate shifts, then that will affect, the production of crops. So, with the majority of people on the planet, going about their daily business unaware of all these things, you could see that when something does actually happen, how much of an effect it is going to have in a negative capacity with regards to, the population on the Earth. When food starts to become a premium and starts to increase in price, or doesn't appear on the shelves anymore, then, there is going to be trouble big trouble for all of us. And I think it's a good idea, especially as the climate can change in a single season. And most of you guys, regularly report to me about the noticing of the seasons changing in your country, wherever you are over the world. If it can change in a season, then it can certainly affect the crop production. Your country may be heavily reliant on imports, exports, whichever. Nevertheless, your staples in your country, if they're not being produced, you're going to notice, not just the fact that they're becoming more rarer, but they're also going to be becoming more expensive. So, just a few things to bear in mind there, guys. So guys, I just thought I'd briefly let you know that I still haven't given up on the trimagnetometer station, and I'd show you some data that we've got being produced by that equipment that is monitoring the heading of the magnetic North Pole. You'll see the data's separated by commas. This is just so that we can process it onto a graph. Yes, the problem we've still got is the data logger recording the information, and as soon as we get the data logger working, or we think of another way of doing this, probably just another way. There are other ways, but I could have it just connected to a Bluetooth device which would transmit it to a router and straight up onto the internet every time new data gathers. But as you can see, the first set of data is the 123, which is the magnetometers that are transmitting. There's 3 different magnetometers. The second set of data is the headings of the magnetic North Pole. Now you'll see that between 1, 2 and 3 they're slightly different. That's because it's not permanently fixed and calibrated. When it gets permanently fixed and calibrated after all the work's done, all those will start at being the same, and then from then on we'll see the data as it progresses through time, and that is the next set of data after the comma, which is the time, and then we've got the date stamp. And this is very powerful data that we're getting here. This is 3 separate magnetometers that are measuring the heading of the magnetic North Pole, because that's all we're interested in with regards to this data. We are interested in the magnetosphere strength, and that is just a simple case of adding another sensor to this to measure that, which I'm going to do. As you know, I've got to bury that one around a metre in the ground, and then we'll have it transmit wirelessly like these are at the moment, doing to the box that you can't see, which is at the side of the computer. I think I have showed you guys in other videos now that we've built a steel case. All the electronics are in there, and just at the front it's got a power point, the SD card, and the link for the USB on the front of it, and at the side we've got a 2.4 gigahertz transmitter. We've come a long way with this, guys. I know it's probably getting on a year now developing this equipment. There's been a lot of bugs. The main problem is being learning myself the ICC programming language for this, that these Arduino breakout boards use, or development boards use. I'm going to try my best to get into a university next week with this and see if we can get some help just trying to sort out the problem with the data logger, and then we can bring it back, start getting some real data uploaded to the website, as opposed to relying on organisations to donate that to us as we are at the moment. It would be interesting to see on a daily basis or a weekly basis, whenever you choose to tune into the website, to look at the data and see how it changes throughout the week. I mean, it'll be a learning curve for us all to see how regularly the pole wanders around over the northern hemisphere. I've got a couple of friends over the southern hemisphere in New Zealand that are interested in having one of these situated down there to monitor the South Pole, but once we get the bugs knocked out on this, it's not a problem sending these to various parts of the world. I've got a friend in Virginia in the United States that also it's going to get one of these boxes when we've configured all the problems with it. So, I just wanted to let you know I've not given up on this project, guys. It's probably been one of the hardest projects I've ever took on, because I've had to learn myself all the way through, and I've sat down there for many, many hours, which would equate to weeks and possibly months if you was to sandwich all those hours together, learning and trying to understand what the problems are and getting the data into the format that we've got it today. So we have done well. The other thing is some of you that I speak to over Skype from this channel will know that over the last 4 months been through a few testing moments. I'll mention this once and once only on here, just so that you can understand that I'm not slacking by any means. My relationship with my wife comes to an end after 20 years, which has left me now looking after my son. So on top of all the things that have come with that, I've had to also continue with life as it is, because it does go on, doesn't it? But guys, it's not all bad, because I've used this to motivate me a little bit. For the last 4 months I've been going to the gym regularly, working out 3 times a week. I've lost 2 stone. My 6-pack is starting to develop and become noticeable, and I'm getting out there and meeting people again. It's I suppose some people go within themselves over a scenario of this sort, or you try and make improvements, and that's the route certainly I've taken. And that's also the reason why there was Russian language spoken in the beginning of this video, because I've been chatting with someone in Russia actually, and I thought it'd be interesting to learn a little bit more about their language, so that they wouldn't always have to speak to me in the language that I'm accustomed to hearing every day. So anyhow guys, that's what's been going on over the last 4 months. Like I say, we'll mention it once and once only. So things are still progressing with the magnetometer station. I've got some updates I want to put up on the website, some more information with regards to sunspots and climate and stuff like that. And just stay tuned, guys. I'll keep you updated on the magnetic pole reversal as much as I can, and certainly when this equipment is debugged and we get the data going onto the SD card, we can start processing it and seeing what the magnetic pole is doing almost real time. I think it was about over 1,000 readings a week we'll take, and that'll give us a broad range of information, and visually we'll see what is going on up there. And when we include the FMG3 magnetosphere sensor, and we get that calibrated, we'll also have that as well. The nice thing about this is it doesn't really matter how many sensors we've got, because the way we designed it all was so that we have the central hub receiver communicate with as many nodes as we want, so there can be as many sensors as we want on the transmitting side of this, so long as they don't all try and communicate at the same time with the master hub. This is part of the development of this equipment that's been going on there for some time. So I'm not going to go on anymore, guys. There's always a link there if you fancy supporting the channel. I want to say big thanks to those that have supported it recently. Continue doing that. We might be able to encourage some people at the university with a few crates of beer or something to give us a hand, and sort out this last problem that we've got with this. And then, really it is like we've overcome a massive hurdle, and we can move forward with it. So as usual, guys, I'm going to say what I usually do. Links below if you want to support, please do, and you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hasn't it come round quick? And bye for now.